Huh? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So do me a favor and imagine yourself walking home from your local corner store getting your favorite snack, and it's a few minutes before 6:30 at night. And while you're on your way home, you decide to call one of your friends and talk to them while you're on your way back home. While you're on the phone, you notice somebody's following you. So what's your first instinct?
Yeah.
Maybe you vote and you approach the car. Maybe you just ignore it and act like nothing's happening. But let's just say you run. You run because you're scared. So now it's 7:10 and you're running because you feel like you're in danger and you're not sure what's going on, but you know you just want to get home. So the person following you pulls over and approaches you. Now I have a question for you. When you were younger, do your parents ever tell you if a stranger tries to follow you or talk to you to do anything in particular?
It's in a talk now.
Yeah, it's not talking.
I know my mom taught me to fight and scream for help and do all in my power to come home safe to her. So let's assume that you fought back and the thoughts that ran through your mind were the same as Trayvon Martin's. I say assume because all we can do is assume, because after Trayvon fought back, that stranger named George Zimmerman shot Trayvon that night. So now Trayvon is dead and he didn't make it home to his parents and he will never see his parents again. George Zimmerman is arrested that night and is released only 5 hours later on February 27, 2012. So now that man is free to go about his business like nothing happened after he murdered a teenage boy. And this was the case until the story is the new trending topic on all the social media sites. The next thing you know, the civil rights groups are getting involved and press is just swarming for the next big story. So it's been about 2 weeks since Trayvon Martin's murder, and you can't turn on the TV or get on the computer without seeing Trayvon. On April 11, 2012, about a month and a half after Trayvon's murder, George Zimmerman is charged with second-degree murder and a warrant is put out for his arrest. That same day, George Zimmerman turns himself in. 3 days after he's out again on bail. So it's July 11, 2013, about a year and 6 months after Trayvon's death, that his case goes on trial. The Trayvon Martin case only lasted 3 days after a year of anticipation. The medical examiner admitted that because the time period was so long from the day of his death and the trial, he forgot what happened. He forgot what he wrote in his autopsy report. The jury selected for the trial was an all-white jury. On December 15, 1791, the Sixth Amendment was added to the U.S. Constitution. The Sixth Amendment gives the people the right to a fair and speedy trial. So what this means is that people have a right for a case to go on trial within a fair amount of time. So why did it take a month and a half after Trayvon's death for George Zimmerman to be charged with the crime? Why is it that if Trayvon's case didn't receive so much media attention, it would have never gone on trial? It would have been tucked away in a file cabinet somewhere in a Sanford County police station. Why is it that George Zimmerman went home free a few hours after Trayvon's death on February 26th? And why is it that the case didn't go on trial until the next year? Is that right? Is that fair? So I know some of you are probably thinking, what can I do? He's dead and it's over and George Zimmerman is free and that's the end of it. Well, that week's story doesn't have to be the end to Trayvon. We can still get justice for Trayvon. When I say we, I mean everybody in this classroom and everybody you go and share this story with and so on. See, Trayvon wasn't going to get a fair trial if everybody wasn't talking about it and wasn't on every social media site or talked about on the news all the time and even spoken about by Obama. It would have never gone to trial to begin with. So that's what I'm asking you to do, is talk about it, tell the world about it, voice your view, and don't let Trayvon go forgotten. We can't get change if we don't. We can't get change if we don't try. And if we don't get change, it could happen to anyone all over again.